Hey, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you happen to be in the world today. We're getting started with our Final Fantasy XIV stream today. We had a big battle yesterday with Nidhogg, and we're approaching the end of the Heavensward expansion patches. And let's see, today we'll have to fight Titan again on hard mode, it looks like, to continue the story. But starting off, let's see, we got our adventure squadron going. I guess it's been at least a week now, I think, since we had them going, but we'll go ahead and make a little progress on them and queue up for Titan hard mode. So they only needed an hour to complete their little mission, but they came back anyways pretty quickly, huh? Let's see here. The recruits appear to have carried out their task in a sufficiently competent manner. You'd be surprised at how many privates managed to lose their way on a simple patrol route. In any case, a small success like this will improve the unit's cohesion and help sharpen their individual skills. And speak with this guy in order to do mission deployments and check the reports. And each mission can be done once per week, up until Tuesday, 4 a.m. Now let's talk training. Specialized instruction will improve the abilities of individual recruits, but its main purpose is to encourage the growth of the squadron as a whole. When you decide that the squadron's skills could use some sharpening, check the regiment board for a list of available training courses. As much as I champion learning through doing, there are some things that need to be taught if the troops are to handle the tougher deployments. The more you bleed during training, the less you'll bleed on the field, as my old drill sergeant used to say. If we want this squadron to be the most elite unit in the Immortal Flames, then we'd best not neglect their military education. Alright, so we need to send them to the board then here. Ready to begin the squadron's training, Commander? I think you'll find the course names are fairly self-explanatory. And we can boost either their physical, mental, and or tactical strength, and focus on whichever one we think is appropriate at the time. We'll have to check with our missions that are available and see where we need to boost our stats occasionally. And each training course takes only 1 hour. Alright, let's see, let's go ahead and do the obligatory training course, and let's see, I will just do comprehensive to start with here. So they'll be done within an hour, or in 1 hour. So let's queue up now for Titan again. Let's see, that's under Realm Reborn, the Naval Hard, there we go. And we got 5 minutes queued up there. Now, I don't know if we will get that quickly or not this morning, but we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I will try changing to Fisher and move forward with this quest with Reyna over at Tailfeather. Right there. All right. Finally, you made it. Thanks for coming, Anne. Hold on. Where's Anselm? Isn't he with you? Didn't think he was up to the challenge, eh? Well, at least he had the good sense to send along a suitable replacement. You're thrice the fisherman that great galoot is, and it's angling talents I need to get us out of this mess. For the past few years, I've been coming here to Tailfeather for the start of the hunting season. It's dangerous work, but it has its rewards. Why, just a couple of weeks Chocobo hunting can keep a girl in balloon bugs for the rest of the year. And after a long day's hard work, there's nothing I like better than to head to the riverbank and catch a few carp for the hunter's supper. The problem is, someone's let a school of carnivorous catfish loose in the river, and they're running riot. At this rate, they'll have gobbled up every fish in the river before the season's out. I've convinced the hunters to try to catch these monsters before it's too late, but they've had no luck so far. It's no surprise, really. Half of them don't even know which bit of the tackle to throw in the water. That's where you come in. I need you to help me catch a few of these whiskery invaders and show those hunters how it's done. What do you say, Anne? If my master plan works, it's not only the future of our fish suppers that'll be saved for posterity, but the chocobo hunt itself. After all, you can't catch chocobos on an empty stomach. Isn't that right, Stenny boy? Looks like Stenny is away with the fairies again. I had better stay here and keep an eye on him. We wouldn't want him doddering off into the Willem, and giving those nasty catfish something meatier to wrap their teeth around. Do you think you could put my plan into practice yourself? The hunters I sent to catch the catfish should still be upstream somewhere. Just follow the river to the north and you're sure to bump into them sooner or later. They might not have caught any of those pesky pescatarians yet, but like as not, they'll know where to find them. All right. That's a lot of talking. So if you're just joining us, welcome. We're happy to have you here on the stream. It looks like we're close to winding up Heavensward, getting through the last of the patches for Heavensward, I believe, here, and waiting on Titan. We have to fight Titan one more time. We had to do that to unlock the hard mode fights earlier at the end of A Realm Reborn, and now we have to fight him again here at the end of Heavensward. So how are you doing? I hope your day or afternoon, evening, morning, whatever, is going okay. If you've got any comments or suggestions, please drop them down in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. And that's what we're here for. To chat, play the game, and enjoy the atmosphere together. Just enjoy ourselves. Well, I'll be, if it ain't that Fisher rain has been going on about. The absolute apex of angling or what have you. You're half as good as she claims. We'll have these horrors sorted out in no time flat. These shadow whiskers are eating us out of house and home. They ain't native to this area, see. Some lunkhead hunter decided to bring them in special when no one was looking and set them free in the river. And do you know why he did it? To make the chocobos think twice about crossing the river so the lazy beggar didn't have to hunt so far. As if some fish is going to scare a 10-foam racing bird. The shadow whiskers have put the fear of the gods into all the other river dwellers, though. The fish would have been here all along, just ain't quick enough to escape them, so the monsters are having a field day, proper gorging themselves like. We've tried all we can to fish them out, but the slippery beggars just won't take the bait. They head down river to hunt, but most of them are holed up around here in the basin of the 100 Throws. It's the big ones in the best nick that are the most trouble. If you could show us how to go about catching them, we'll take care of the rest. I reckon 3 big ones should be enough to teach us the knack. The fish themselves you can give to Raina. I'm sure she'll find some use for them. Alright, so we got to get shadow whiskers. Take a look and see what we need for this here. Mooch them from, oh, we have to mooch these, okay. Oops, there we go. Blue claw shrimp first. Alright, so we could try stonefly nymphs. We have those already. Yeah, we've got those. We could give it a try. Anything else that might narrow down what we catch here? Probably not at my level. I'm 57 currently. Yeah, not quite. And what else could I try? Not much. We'll just have to see if we can get lucky, I think. Alright, well, let's see what happens here. But we will want to use patience here. Let's see, blue claw shrimp is going to be, yeah, small catch. Got one of whatever that is. There's a blue claw shrimp. Let's see if we have any luck now. There's one. Got lucky with that one, I guess. Beginner's luck got us our first one, I think. Another possible. They're blue claw shrimp. Let's see what this one drags up. Ooh, why am I not? I thought I was fishing that one. Oh man. Okay, well I missed that one because I thought I was still under the effect of patience there, and I was trying to hit that powerful hook set. Okay, well we lost one there. We'll just keep trying then. Nope, that's not a big one. Darn. Too bad. Too bad. And we're 11 minutes into our Titan Hard queue. another Shadow Whisker. Okay, but I'm going to need some more GP if I'm going to do that. I don't have any cordials. We'll just kind of sit here and get up to about 300 and see if that's any good. The calming sounds of the Dravanian forelands today. Alright, let's see if we can make another go at it here. Another opportunity. Yep, blue claw. And let's see what this one drags in. Boy, wouldn't that be something if we happen to get all three of them that quickly? That would be nice. Would be nice. Alright, fingers crossed. Come on, Shadow Whisker. Yes! Alright. Good deal. Alright, well, we will turn those back in then. I don't remember ever being that lucky trying to catch those, that's for sure. How's the Shadow Whisker hunt going? It'll take every trick in the book to lift those monsters out of the water, but you know the book backwards, right? Wow, you did it! I knew I could count on you. And the Chocobo hunters saw everything, did they? The lure you chose, how you set your line, the flick of the wrist, and the set the hook. Excellent. Now that they've seen how it's done, you can leave the rest to us. We'll have the Willem back to its good old self in no time. One good turn deserves another, but I've exhausted my supply of fascinating fishing stories. How about you, Stenny boy? Any exciting tales of angling and adventure to tell our good friend Anne? I've got a story for you. Long ago, when me granddad's granddad was but a boy, he met with this traveling trader who'd come over from the far east to flog his wares. Among this merchant's stock was a bucket of wriggling red worms that seemed to glow with heat. Naturally, the boy asked him what they were all about. "Them's magma worms, my son," the merchant said, or some such far eastern patter as makes no difference. "Back where I come from, the fish folk use 'em as bait. Hook 'em to a steel line and drop 'em in a volcano and you'll pull up fish the like of which you've never seen. Of course," he said, "it's a dangerous game, fishing in a pool of molten rock. One false move and you're coming up crispy. Still, there's many back in the east who's risk life and limb to make it their business. We call 'em the famous hellfishers, or so my great-great-granddad was told." What a story, Sten! Could there really be fish that live in lava? If there are, I want to catch one. It sounds like we'd need some of those magma worms, though, and I can't say I've ever heard of them. Maybe Anselm would have an idea where to get hold of them. He's traveled all over the world, right? Alright, so I guess we can go talk to Anselm about that. Welcome back, Anne. Judging from that satisfied smile on your face, I'd say you've managed to solve Raina's little problem. I knew you could do it. You have something to ask of me, by all means, fire away. Red glowing worms? You're not going to believe this, but I've got a few of these magma worms of yours right here in my pocket. A pair of adventurers were in here earlier, a botanist and a miner selling their diggings. I bought a few wrigglers off them that fit that description. Alright, I'm gonna have to drag through this, I think. Don't know if I can change here quickly enough. Oh shoot, yeah, I'm gonna miss this. There we go. I think we got it in time. Alright, well we better go through that. Don't want to miss that cue. Let's see who we got. Oh, that's right. We're capped at 50, so we really can't do dance partners or anything. What have I got available here? All right. Landed first. Alright, well, we'll run over here for now. Go, let's load it in that order. That should be good. Heck of a pool of mess there. First, I think. Ooh, got that. About time you finished here, buddy. Oh, yuck, that's a big mess. I got you caught in one of those. Alright, then we'll have to go back to Camp Overlook. Let's finish up our fisher here. Oh, I put a hat on. Oh, it must have gone to my inventory, did it? Maybe? Maybe I already got the hat, did I? Oh, I gotta change to fisher. There we go. Alright, now. Got a new fishing rod, new hat. Botanist. And get the hat and miner. Alright. Back to Camp Overlook. Ah, there she is. Did I not tell you she would return safe and sound? The deed is done then. Titan is no more? That's right, again. Good. There has been enough tragedy this day. He has been like that since he regained consciousness. We believe he can hear us, but he has made no attempt to respond. He is almost certainly still in shock, but we cannot discount the possibility that he succumbed to the primal's influence. Should that prove to be the case, he must be put to death like any other thrall, such as the Alliance's policy, yes? You have the right of it. But we must not rush to conclusions. After all, we once feared that Izael's followers were beyond reason, and many have since laid down their arms and accepted Ishgard's peace. We can but watch, wait, and pray. There is naught to be gained from dwelling on an eventuality over which we have no control, much less one which may never even come to pass. Let us tend to more immediate matters, informing Commander Bloden of Titan's demise, for example. You may be certain that he will be glad of the news. Would you be so kind as to break it to him? Ah, you're a sight for sore eyes. When the others came back without you, I feared the worst, but they said you had matters well in hand. All settled then, is it? I'm glad to hear it, but not half as glad as my men'll be, believe you me. Regardless of whether or not he was summoned properly, a primal's a primal, and there ain't a soul in the maelstrom that hasn't lost a friend to one. Don't get me wrong, like, we were all prepared to do our part, but we weren't so naive as to think we'd live to tell the tale. Thankfully, of course, it didn't come to that, which, my friend, sounds to me like cause for celebration. Now, I know you lot have places to be, but why not stay the night? We'd be honored to raise a glass to the triumphant return of Titan's Bane.
Who goes there? Oh, it's you. Forgive me for straying from the camp. He hasn't been feeling too welcome, to say the least. I thought a change of scenery might do him good. But, alas. so quiet out here. The stars spread out before us, beckoning across time and space. Dawn may banish even the darkest night. How bitterly beautiful, those words. I should be stronger for all my experiences, yet my heart aches more than ever. I never understood why Grandfather gave his life that day. I thought that if I came here, I would find the answers I needed. But when I finally laid eyes on the land he sacrificed everything to save, saw firsthand the bickering, the pettiness, I was disappointed. I was angry. I could not fathom how these people were more deserving of his love than his family, than me. Nevertheless, I had to believe he had good reason. I was determined to uncover the whole truth of the calamity and, perhaps in so doing, find my own purpose in this sea of chaos. My travels have been enlightening, but I cannot say that I have enjoyed them. I have lost count of the many petty crises that I was helpless to resolve and of the people whose actions I could not understand. There were others, of course. Good people. People with whom I felt a kinship, whose lives I could not save. I found myself asking what it was all for. Why try if I was doomed to fail in the end? But then I recalled Grandfather's words to my father, years ago, before he left Charlayan behind forever. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. We must all protect that which we hold most dear in the manner of our own choosing. We have to try, do we not? Of course, it's one thing to try and another to do. There were times while I was tracking the warriors of darkness when I faltered, when I was afraid. But then I thought of my brother, of Urianger. Oh, pray forgive me. This conversation has been rather one-sided, hasn't it? Mayhap you could recount some of your adventures in Ishgard.
Yeah, I'd fall over dead if I actually heard a voice coming out of my character. Let's see, oh... I traveled far and wide with two companions, Estinian and Asael, who were very...
Gods! They must have been at each other's throats from dawn till dusk. I dare say you managed to keep the peace, though. Merely being in the presence of the Warrior of Light is surely enough to shame anyone into behaving. The hopes and dreams of so many rest on your shoulders, Warrior of Light. As long as the sun rises, we can but carry on, for the sake of those we hold dear.
To what end dost thou cling to the tainted gifts of the Mother?
Every tool has its purpose. Even this. Well, what is it?
The seeds sown in Vilbrand have been plucked from the earth and left to wither. Alas, Titan's demise sufficed not to drive the kobolds to deepest desperation.
What did the man in white have to say?
That we are to proceed as he did first set forth.
Well, that's easy for him to say. It's not his bloody world on the brink of destruction, is it?
Be thou well reminded that with an end to Ishgard's unrest, naught now remaineth to preoccupy the Scion's thoughts. And thus may they devote their every energy to thwarting thee and thine. I foresee only greater difficulties ahead.
Foresee? Are you sure you don't welcome them? I'm starting to think you might hold a candle for your old friends after all.
Pray do not mistake mine intent. I but look upon the path which lieth before us with due trepidation. Shouldst thou be of like mind, pray consider then another course. For the power to invoke the ardor belongeth not unto the Ascians alone. With thine own hand strike down thine enemy, the so-called hero who would see thy home lost to light. Do but this, and thou wouldst at a single stroke disrupt the all-too-delicate balance of this realm, plunging her straightways into chaos.
You do realize what you're suggesting, yes?
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. The words of my teacher, and a creed I hold close to my heart.
Very well. Draw her out. We'll make it quick.
It shall be done. What good a creed one cannot uphold? What hurts soothed? What lives saved? Oh, hapless fool, what hast thou wrought by thine own hands? Minfilia, my friends, I shall not now beg your forgiveness. Full deeply though it paineth me to walk it, I shall not stray from my chosen path. As Moonbreeder remains steadfast, so too shall I.
Uh-huh. Okay. What you be plotting there, Urianger? What ho, Anne? I trust you had a good night's rest? I was but this moment speaking with Thancred and Ishtola via Link Pearl. They had some interesting news to share. Apparently, during the course of their respective investigations, both came across crates which had once borne Ishgardian seals. It would seem that someone in the capital has been very busy indeed. Accordingly, the Temple Knights have launched a full-scale investigation. Sir Emmerich believes that it is only a matter of time before the culprits are found, but we shall have to wait and see. In the meantime, it seems only prudent to look into the recent activities of the other tribes, in case they too are flush with Ishgardian crystals. And with that in mind, I suggest we pay Urianger another... Wait, where is Alisaie? She was here a moment ago with Gabu. Then I will go get her for you. Ah, let me guess. It's time to leave, isn't it? My apologies for disappearing again. If it is any consolation, I have already packed my things. How is he? Brother, Commander Bloden, something tells me you are not solely here out of concern for his welfare. But to answer your question, there has been no change. He will not speak or eat. I'm not even sure if he slept. If he did, he seems none the better for it. He just shuffles about with that same expression on his face. You will look after him, won't you, Commander? And treat him with every kindness? He's still in there. I know it. Beneath the anguish and the despair, he's still fighting with all his heart. He deserves to be given that chance. Until he comes back to us. Until we know for certain what has become of him. Aye, you needn't worry. If he hadn't risked his neck to warn us and help you secure the better part of the crystals, this could have turned out a damn sight worse than it did. We'll not soon forget that, and nor will Maelstrom Command. I'm sorry, Gabu. I truly am. You should never have been made to... And I know I cannot possibly understand. Mayhap there is nothing I can do or say. The pain, the anger, the helplessness. Hold fast to the memories of better times. Remember them as they were. And when it hurts so much your heart feels fit to burst, let it burst. Let it burst and fill up again with your love for them, and never, ever forget. Come along, little one. I will remember them. And you, Alice. Thank you. Have faith, sister. Your words have reached him. In time, he will recover. And those who orchestrated these events will be made to answer for their crimes. A thousand times over, aye, there will be a reckoning. All right, back off to the Waking Sands. We have heard the glad tidings from Ogmoro, my friends. By the grace of the 12 and your most valiant efforts, the people of Limsa may rest easy. I should like to think so, yes. Though we failed to prevent the Lord of Crags from manifesting, we did succeed in weakening him, enabling our friend to dispatch him before the Warriors of Darkness could make matters worse. 'Twas by no means an unmitigated success, but it will have to suffice. Then let us speak of another matter, one which weigheth heavy on my lady's mind. As thou didst request, I sought out the Jaren oracles, that we might better understand the aims of the Warriors of Darkness. Though their copious use of allegory defieth any single interpretation, the oracles paint a most disturbing picture, one of worlds parallel to our own, apart yet linked, reduced to ruin with every umbral calamity. 7 times have they succeeded. Then of 10 and 3 only 6 worlds remain. Aye, all is as my lady Menphilia spake unto thee. As for what becometh of these reflections when they and the source are rejoined, frail flesh undone in umbral fires, each soul surrendereth to her call, to flow unto the endless sea, there to endure as one and none. Then if the warriors of darkness succeed, everyone in their world will die? In essence, aye. The verse speaketh of the renunciation of the flesh and subsequent return to the life stream. However, this fate may yet be preferable to the alternative, for if the first were to fall to transcendent light in the manner the warriors of darkness described, it would give way unto a void wherein none may know either life or death. Far better to die, they reason, for in death there is life. The essence of a soul which returneth unto the source may be born anew, saved. Such, at least, is their belief, I surmise. If that is true, then, gods, no one should ever have to make such a choice. Ere we speak further on this subject, I would share with thee another recent discovery. 'Twould seem that several sizable shipments of crystals have been delivered into the hands of certain Alamegan parties. Alamegans? Strange. And you believe this to be the work of the same Ishgardian smugglers who supplied the beast tribes? I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. And lest thou wonder at their motive, I would remind you that the Ascians did once attempt to bring about the summoning of Ralgar. The individuals who took receipt of these shipments are refugees belonging to a group devoted to the cause of Alamegan liberation. It may also interest thee to know that their Ishgardian suppliers appear to be none other than the remnants of Eileen Royale's network of spies. Surely you jest, and yet it is not so surprising. Bereft of leadership and hunted by the Alliance, I can well imagine such villains being desperate enough to conspire with the Ascians, assuming they even know or care who their new employers are. All of which is irrelevant, forgive me. We must seek out the resistance group which received the crystals without delay. And, Alice, will you come with me to Little Alamigo? Yes, we will. Alice giving Urianger the look. Yes, of course. I should like to hear what they have to say for themselves, firsthand. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal. Alphino, Alice, Anne, are you 3 listening? Good, I have tidings. The Temple Knights raided the smuggler's warehouse less than an hour ago. A cursory interrogation of the prisoners yielded confirmation that they were in the employ of, and I hope you are sitting down, a man in black robes. Then you have them. And the crystals too? What few remained, aye. Regrettably, it would seem they dispatched one final shipment in the hours before we struck. Was bound for Little Alamigo, we are told, where it will be received by members of a local resistance group. Since Sir Emeric's men no longer have need of my services, I have a mind to head that way. As do we, by happy coincidence. We learned of the shipments but a few moments ago. Ha! And there I was thinking I might finally be one step ahead of the Warrior of Light and her little helpers. Ah, wait a moment. There is more. And I defy you not to be surprised by this revelation. The leader of the Ishgardian smugglers was formerly in the employ of one Eileen Royale, the infamous Ivy herself. Once again, Thancred, I fear I must inform you that... Thancred, with whom else have you shared this information? About the smugglers? No one. As I think I mentioned, the raid was less than an hour ago. I was planning to contact Ishtola next, but is there someone else you would have me notify first? No, there isn't. So she's wondering now, how did Urianger know all this that happened within an hour? What in the world has gotten into her? It is twice now that we have sought Urianger's aid, and twice she has treated him as if he were a stranger. The Archon was one of Grandfather's most dedicated pupils and spent as much time at the Levelier estate as we did. He's practically a member of the family. Truth be told, I struggle to recall a day from my childhood when I did not see the three of them laughing together. If this continues, I may have to raise the matter. Later, though. Little Alamigo awaits. All right, so we will head over to Little Alamigo. Haven't been there for a little while. I will get to the bottom of this. Oh, forgive me, it has been a long day. Did you have something to say? Urianger? Oh, I've always struggled to understand what's going on in his head, now more than ever. Listen, Anne, if anything should happen, it should be me who... Just know that I am prepared to do what must be done. Right then, to more pressing matters. Since we have no idea when Thancred might arrive, I suggest we see what information we can gather in his absence. So, to review, we are reliably informed that members of the Alamegan resistance operating here have taken receipt of several large shipments of crystals, our task being to ascertain who and why. Given the size of the settlement, I find it hard to believe that anyone here could be wholly unaware of the Resistance's movements. The challenge, of course, will be finding individuals who are both able and willing to share such information with outsiders. It would seem sensible to divide our forces. Anne, why don't you question the residents in the eastern half of town? Alice and I will do the same in the west, and afterwards we can rendezvous here to share our findings. Aye, aye, Captain. Let's see. A couple here. I see you there going around asking questions, looking for the Griffin and his slot, I'll bet. Seems they're the talk of Little Alamigo these days. Folk wondering what he's about, what he's got in store for the Garleans, and what's under that mask of his, of course. Some say he's hardly got a face, what with all the scars. Others reckon he's been marked for death by the Empire, and that they'd send a bloody legion if they knew he was here. Your guess is as good as mine. Let me guess. Come to join the fight, have you? No need to deny it, friend. You're not the first to answer the Griffin's call. While he's lit a fire in every Alamegan's heart, he's also inspired more than a few Uldans to pledge themselves to the cause. And little wonder, the Garleans won't stop until we're all under the yoke. Huh? The Resistance? Damned if I know. It's not as if I'd be any use to them. If you set store by all these tales of secret weapons, good luck to you, but I'm too old for the Mask's bedtime stories. This is our lot, and it's time we got used to it. I suppose I should ask what you learned, but I think I already know. This Griffin seems to be the leader of a newly formed faction within the Resistance, the Masks. Yet, despite their growing popularity, no one seems to know much about them, only that they are the most aggressively militant group to join the movement in recent memory. Indeed, many claim their commitment to the cause of Alamegan liberation is unrivaled. We can but hope their revolutionary fervor is never channeled in the direction of a primal. Though I feel confident that this is the group which received the crystal shipments, we yet lack proof. Before taking any action, I would speak with the settlement's leader to confirm my suspicions, and mayhap enlist his help while I'm about it. Given that you and Gundabald are already acquainted, mayhap it would be best if you took the lead. Shall we? And if you recently joined our stream, welcome. We're happy to have you here. Hope you're having a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you happen to be. We are getting closer and closer to the end of all the Heavensward patches here today, it looks like. We're just continuing on, seeing how far we get, and enjoying the atmosphere and the game, and would love to chat with you. Let us know how you're doing down in the comments if you'd like, or if you just prefer to lurk, that's fine too. We're happy to have you here with us. Much as it pleases me to see you again, Anne, I cannot help but wonder if I should be worried. I hear you and yours have been asking questions. The Griffin? Aye, I know of him, as do we all. He and his masks have become a leading faction within the Resistance. Though there was suspicion at first, given his secretive ways, he quickly proved himself a charismatic and capable commander. Men are drawn to his passion and his vision. They truly believe that he has what it takes to lead them to victory. Even I cannot help but admire the man for what he's accomplished. But I have not forgotten Wilrid. I was blind to the danger of his ambitions, and you were not. The Griffin will soon deliver a speech to our people at the sunken temple of Charn. Go and see him with your own eyes. Weigh his words with your own heart. How convenient. 'Tis but a pity Thancred is not here to join us. You two go on ahead. I shall stay behind and wait for him. All right, over to the Temple of Charn. Charn or Karn? I wonder which one. Has it begun already? I hear voices coming from within.
Brothers and sisters, 20 years ago, Alamigo, our home, was claimed by the Garlean Empire. In our haste to overthrow the King of Ruin, we turned a blind eye to our foes in the north. With our glorious revolution, we but laid a path for a new tyrant to succeed the old. And when confronted with our failure, we fled.
Not a day goes by that I do not think of those we left behind. Think of them and feel ashamed. And I know each and every one of you feels the same. We abandoned them, our own flesh and blood, to labor till their backs gave in and their breath gave out, building the twisted steel ramparts which now mar our once majestic mountains. We abandoned them, the brave and true, to fight and die for their country, or worse, to be conscripted and sent off to rob another poor bastard of his home. We abandoned them, the meek and powerless, to bow and scrape when the Garleans pass, to sully themselves that they might live to see another day of misery. The Black Wolf may be dead, but a new Imperial Viceroy reigns in Alamigo now. A beast, not a fraction as merciful. You all know the Eorzean Alliance will do naught to oppose him. For all their promises and platitudes, they will not act if there's no profit in it. Only we can free our brothers and sisters from the Empire's tyranny, my friends. Only we have the courage to stand and fight. They have imprisoned us. They have enslaved us, and they have murdered us, but no more! Blood demands blood, and the Garleans shall pay for every drop they have spilt upon our lands. This I promise you, for we have a power within us, my friends. A power befitting our pride, our righteousness. Only join us, and we shall grant you the means to unleash it, and together we shall see the Alamigan standard raised over the mountains of Gia Arbania once more!
A power befitting their pride. Not at all ominous, that. Wait, is that...
Ha ha ha, alright.
What are you two doing here?
I could ask you the same thing.
Well, well, this is quite the surprise.
If you see what I see, if you feel as I feel...
Might I suggest we continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings?
For it is not strength of arms that will win this battle, but strength of heart.
Yay, well that's everybody but Minfilia now. Words cannot express how glad I am to see you both alive and well. And you, though it was pretty obvious you and Anne would be fine. The Crystal Braves never had a realistic chance of capturing any of the Scions, divided as they were, and distrusted by the better part of Eorzea. But if you truly believed that, forgive me, what exactly have you two been doing all this time? Repaying a favor. After the banquet, we had no choice but to flee Ul'dah, and we would not have been able to do so without the aid of some old friends from the Resistance. That's right, they smuggled us out of the city and sheltered us in Little Alamigo, all at great risk to themselves. Obviously, we couldn't let that go unacknowledged, so we offered to help them out with their operations for a while. When we learned of the Scion's exoneration, that Lolorito had severed all ties with the Crystal Braves and that General Ralban had been reinstated, we resolved to make contact. But having long since discarded our link pearls as a precautionary measure, our options were rather limited. And, it's not like Gul'da is just an easy half a day's walk, over there, but whatever. To make matters more complicated, we were embroiled in a delicate operation at the time, leaving me with little choice but to entrust a letter to a courier. I gather from your puzzled expressions, however, that you never received it. To be honest, we thought this might happen. While the masks are happy to let the refugees spread the word within the community, they're pretty strict about communicating with outsiders. Oh, and we also heard a rumor that the Griffin doesn't want us meddling in his affairs. The Griffin mistrusts the scions of the Seventh Dawn? Curious. It is well known that we are no friends to Garlemald. One would think the man we saw beseeching all and sundry to join his cause would welcome our support. I should say that the man you saw was not in fact the Griffin, but an impersonator, and a talented rabble-rouser to boot. It would not surprise me if he were responsible for the majority of these public appearances. As you may have gathered, the Griffin is an extremely cautious and distrusting man who has made every effort to conceal his identity. Even when we participated in a raid under his direct command, we were not permitted to approach him. It's hard to know what to make of it all. The secrecy, the impersonators, the masks. Says the lady with the mask. What? It's not as if I'm making all of you wear one, and mine only covers half my face. It's completely different. Anyway, when we heard the Griffin was due to give a speech, we thought it might be a good opportunity to get a better sense of the man behind the For all the good it did. And now you've heard the whole of it, but tell me, what prompted you to take an interest in the Griffin? Summoning? You're not serious. I can't believe it. The Resistance would never even entertain such a ridiculous plan, but the Griffin, well, the man is an enigma. I cannot say with any confidence what he would or would not do. What I can say, however, is that the speech we heard today was not the first to make reference to a power capable of defeating the Empire. The masks have made many such claims of late, I confess. I had assumed it to be mere bluster, but in the context of the shipments of which you spoke, it is not impossible that they are alluding to a primal. Whatever it is, we'll find out together. And if anyone tries to stop us, they'll answer to me. Indeed, that is, assuming you'll have us? Oh, of course. If, as you suspect, the Griffin is indeed plotting to summon a primal, we must needs obtain confirmation while there is yet time to act. To that end, I propose we question his double. Given his role as the group's de facto mouthpiece, I should not be surprised if he were one of the Griffin's closest associates, and while he may not be aware of the most sensitive details, he can probably tell us the mask's plans in broad strokes. Like the man whom he impersonates, however, he is wary of outsiders. He will not expose himself without a suitable incentive. My plan is as follows. You and Alphino will pose as adventurers fallen on hard times, inspired by his words to take up arms for a noble cause. Ida and I, as members of the Resistance, will recount tales of your past achievements and testify as to your usefulness in the struggles ahead. With our enthusiastic assurances still ringing in his ears, he will decide to welcome you in person and we will arrange a meeting. You will need to look the part that we might maintain the charade until we have him cornered at least. Here, this should be enough to purchase suitable garments from Tailbot and to have him rub a respectable amount of dirt on them for good measure. Any questions? It all seems simple enough, thank you. And with that, Anne, let us be off. All right, Mr. Tailbot. A bot that tells tales, I guess. Tell me a story, Tailbot. Yeah, you want to buy what? I don't know what you're up to, but I want no part of it. How about some money? Well, you're the ones with the gill, and seeing as you're friends of Papa Emo, there, tunic and slops for the both of you, tailored and, treated to your tastes. Now, off with you before someone sees us together. Clothes make the man, as they say. Right then, I will go and change and see you at the spot Papa Emo marked on our maps. So, wear the tunic and the slops. Again. Okay. Did those go to my inventory? They went to my armory chest. Alright. Where is it? There's a weathered tunic. And let's see, we've got, I don't know how many pairs of slops we've got now. Alright, so that should do it, I think. I could open a boutique for weathered goods, I think. Well, look at us, a pair of down-at-heel adventurers seeking a chance to recapture past glories. Yes, this should suffice. And now we play the waiting game.
My thanks, comrades. You must be the esteemed adventurers of whom I've heard so much. I understand you have taken an interest in our cause.
A great interest, you might say. Your words have certainly made quite an impression on my friend and I. The Resistance has long, and some would say wisely, avoided open engagements with the Garleans, but you and yours seem confident against the world in arms. I can only assume you have good reason to be so bold. Why, one might even think you are planning to summon a primal. Because that would do much to explain the sizable shipment of crystals you recently received from your smuggler friends, whom our Ishgardian allies have since detained, lest you wonder.
I'd like to hear more about the Griffin. The real Griffin. Your performance earlier didn't fool us.
Ah, the famous scions of the Seventh Dawn. I should have known better than to think I could conceal the truth from you lot. You are right. I am not the Griffin, but I speak with his voice, and it was at his behest that we procured those crystals. You are wrong, however, if you think that we procured them to summon a primal. We used them to reach an accord with the Amalja. In exchange for crystals to summon their god, they will aid us in the fight for Alamegan liberation.
You've got to be joking. Have you gone completely mad? When people find out you helped the Lizardmen summon Ifrit, they'll turn on the Resistance. Alamigo will never be free.
This isn't a fairy tale, girl. We don't have the luxury to play at being honorable heroes. It's because the likes of you wouldn't sully your saintly hands that Alamigo's been under the yoke for the past 20 years. But the Griffin won't stand for it, and neither will we. We're ready to do whatever it takes.
What proof do you have of this arrangement with the Amulja?
What? Aside from a lack of crystals? None. But the beastmen have a great big pile of the things if you fancy looking. You might want to hurry, though. It'll not be long before they summon their god. Search our camp if you don't believe me. We have naught to hide.
If there is a cache to be found, Ida and I will find it.
Then let us be off. Are you perchance the Warrior of Light? Aye, I thought so. You should know that a great many who have joined us did so because you saved them. Because you showed them that one brave woman can make a difference. You saved me too once. Helped a friend over in Quarry Mill make some medicine I needed. But that was a lifetime ago.
Ah, so that's who you are. Oh, I remember that.
On behalf of my brothers and sisters, I thank you. You gave us hope where there was none, courage and strength when all was lost. We shall not squander your gift.
I know that look, Ida, and I do not like it. You cannot seriously be contemplating taking up arms with that band of cutthroats.
I just...
If the Griffin and his men have their way, it is only a matter of time before the situation in Alamigo comes to a head. Your homeland's future teeters on a knife edge, and any reckless action, however small, could have irrevocable consequences. You mustn't lose sight of that, Ida. When the time comes, we must all make our choices, but we must do so in full possession of the facts. Now, let us away. There is work to be done.
Quarry Mill, he said. Do you remember? Forgive me, you cannot be expected to recall every name and face, and besides, it's not as if it matters. I have long admired how you live in the present, how you focus on the problems at hand and always keep moving forward. So, let us keep moving forward together, Anne. We must find and secure those crystals. This is no time for looking back. If we take the Griffin's double at his word, then the crystals are now somewhere within Zaharak, ready to be put to use by the Amalja. We must apprise Alice of all we have learned. I will join you both in Little Alamigo after I have changed. Now that Thancred has finally arrived, mayhap you could share your latest findings? You mean to tell me that while we were worrying ourselves sick, Ida and Papaino were here all along? Well, Ishtola will be relieved, and also angry. Mainly angry, I should think. As for the crystals, what choice do we have? We cannot very well leave them in the hands of the Amalja. For all we know, they could be preparing to summon Ifrit even as we speak. We must make for Zaharak without delay. Agreed. If there is naught else to discuss, let us depart at once. And so they go forth, in accordance with the Griffin's plan. The players gather to assume their marks on a stage wreathed in flame. Ere long the curtain shall rise, and the drama of which I am author, gods forgive me, shall at last be performed. Naught else remaineth, save to stand at the ready and pray that the chance is seized, for never shall we know its like again. All right, here we go. I confess I expected a warmer greeting, but we must not jump to conclusions, not until we have braved the bowl of embers. We must be ready to engage the enemy at any moment. If you would make any final preparations, pray do so now. I shall await your signal. And we've got some cutscenes coming up as well for this.
This isn't right. The Amalja would never leave this place so poorly guarded.
Not willingly, no.
The saviors of Eorzea. Slow as ever.
By the 12. Will you never learn?
You know, you're right. Mayhap it is time for a change of tack. Killing primals, tormenting beastmen, hastening the birth of a new god. It's all a bit much, isn't it? And frankly, we don't have the leisure to do it. But killing the Warrior of Light, on the other hand, that would soon plunge Eorzea into chaos. One life for one world. A fair exchange! Wouldn't you agree?
Lest you forget, you've more than one opponent.
Carbuncle! Defend me!
Way to go, little guy.
I sense you will offer more than mere target practice. Unlike your sister.
Alize!
Did I not tell you, Alphino? I am not the girl I once was. My brother was always the clever one, while my talents lay elsewhere. If you would dare to stand against us, to destroy all that we hold dear, then you shall die by my sword.
Let's finish this.
Alright, let's see. Can't make a dance partner. Alright.
You shall fall soon enough.
There's no escape!
Let's try dropping this over here. Alright.
No more games!
It ends now.
It ends.
Oh, he was going to say that.
What?
The chains!
You snake! You would betray us as well?
He that holdeth fast unto his convictions shall never count betrayal amongst his crimes, though all the world may call him villain. My path is unchanged, my creed sacrosanct. This I believe with all my heart. But say, warrior of darkness, and speak true, what dost thou believe? That rendering up the souls of thy world in service to the rejoining will grant it salvation? Nay.
By the 12! Oriange!
That's right. It is I.
Mine apologies, Master Alphino. That the brightest light might shine, duty did compel me to walk in darkest shade.
You sweet fool. I was almost willing to believe you had turned against us. I expect a full explanation when this is over. For now, may I assume you have turned your cloak for the last time?
Thou mayest, my lady. By thy leave.
Even odds, then. No matter. We'll crush the lot of you in one fell swoop! Understood.
Hearken to me. We only have one chance. Channel your ether into my blade that I might strike before the mage casts his spell. I cannot do it alone, but together we can defeat them!
Alright. See if we can do this.
Make ready! They come!
Where is Alice? Not yet.
I must have more ether!
There it is, Blade of Light. Focused on me, it looks like. There we go.
It's not enough!
That one.
I can feel it! Just a little more!
Let me True Mail. Oh, the Ranger. Okay.
Hurry it up, neighbor! I'll crush you!
Oh, that was hard to avoid. Too far away there.
Done! With this blade, I banish the darkness!
You go, girl.
No. Not like this.
Alize, are you hurt?
A touch dizzy, but otherwise fine. Thank you.
And there you have it. Our friend is too stubborn to die.
We are far from finished. Or have you never considered how we came to this world?
Crystals? You mean, like the Ascians?
Just so. As the Ascians flee unto the rift twixt planes with crystals of darkness, so did these warriors come hither with crystals of light.
Eloquent, as always. Aye, like the Ascians, we too are beyond death. You cannot defeat that which is eternal.
Wait! Such methods as the Ascians employ require the renunciation of the flesh. You would have had to...
At long last, you see. To save our world, we gave our lives. We were just adventurers trying to make our way. An odd job here, a favor there. We never aspired to be warriors of light. But word of our deeds spread, and soon people were calling us heroes. They placed their hopes and dreams on our shoulders, and bid us fight for all that was good and right. We fought, and we fought, and we fought, until there was no one left to fight. We won! And now our world is being erased from existence. We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this. You of all people should understand. We will not falter. We brought our world to the brink of destruction, and now we must save it.
I've died before, Arbet. I'm not afraid to die again.
No matter how many times we fall, we must rise and carry on the fight for those we left behind.
To have known the depth of sorrow and embraced the highest sacrifice. Nonetheless, Master Louis-Sois, guide my hand, I pray you, as fate's thread spinneth upon this most capricious spindle. Quickly! Thou must needs invoke the power of thy crystal!
What is this place?
Such pain. Such sorrow. Oh, my dear children.
It can't be.
Mother Heidelin, hearken unto your children's plea. From two worlds do we gather, and from two worlds do we offer a bounty of light. In this desperate hour we do beseech your intercession. We beg an audience with the word of the Mother, with your chosen Minfilia.
Your cries go not unheard, nor your sacrifices unnoticed. Though many are lost, there are those we can yet save, whom I can yet save.
Minfilia!
Blessed children of the First, the light of your world hath grown blinding in its radiance, but it is not yet absolute. I will hie me to your world, and there take unto myself the light which riseth even now to drown it, as darkness once did drown another.
Now you deign to answer our prayers? I will suffer this farce no longer!
As the Ascians must serve as instruments of Zodiac's will, so too must others carry out the will of Heidelin. But for the boon you have granted her, she has grown strong enough to set me free, that I might serve as her emissary. Your suffering, your sacrifice, your supplications, she has heard all. We will not let the first fall to light. Thank you, Urianger, for bringing everyone here. It fills my heart with joy to look upon the faces of my friends once more.
In taking you unto her bosom, I knew that Heidelin had bequeathed to you a sliver of her grace, granting you strength long sought. And in treating with the Ascians, I learnt of a star like unto our own, a doomed world of fallen heroes, in whom I glimpsed ourselves, the first. Full long did I search for a means to save this world, concluding at the last that the answer lay in the power of blessed crystals. And thus did I labor to set light against dark. Yet I knew from the beginning that this salvation would not come without sacrifice. For the instrument of the first's deliverance would of necessity be required to journey thither, there to remain, mayhap forever.
You orchestrated all of this, not to save her, but to send her away!
One life for one world. Such was the bargain, and you the coin, though it were not mine to spend.
Have we not walked together in the light of the crystal, and at her bidding borne witness to the joys and sorrows of this land? Each and every one of you knows my heart. If this be the price I must pay, I pay it gladly.
You would go alone, then?
My dearest Thancred, you who have ever watched over me, I am truly grateful for all you have done on my behalf, as would my father be. Your kindness, your compassion, your love. These are your gifts to me, and our gifts to them, forming a bond which transcends time and space.
Sometimes I forget you are not the child I once knew. Make me proud.
Long have I watched you from Heidelin's side, watched as you nurtured and kept safe the light of the dawn. The dark recesses of the world hide untold secrets and dangers. Thus do I entrust to you, Tupsimati. I pray you, keep to the path that you may never have need of it.
Twould seem the power of our crystals is all but spent. Perhaps, if there is naught else to be done.
Hear me, servants of Heidelin. If you would have us place our trust in you, then I would ask a favor. Take us with you. Take us home. We were blind to the truth once, so I tell you this, as one fool to another. Light, dark, it doesn't matter. What matters is how you choose to use them. We made our choice and you see what came of it, so please, forge a different path. Seize a better fate.
It is a strange feeling. So many times have I watched you depart, my heart filled with worry. And ever did you return to me in triumph. Someday, when I have found a way to free this star from her sorrow, I promise you I shall repay the favor.
Yeah, some serious revelations there. It would seem we are in southern Thanalan again. Minfilia's doing, no doubt. May the 12 speed her on her way, and the warriors of darkness too. I cannot help but wonder what awaits those wayward souls. If they gave their lives in order to travel to the source, then in returning to the first, would they not? But mayhap that was their wish. What am I getting? A wind-up Moonbreeda. Okay. Forgive me. My thoughts were elsewhere, and this when I know full well there is yet work to be done. The crystals. Leave them to me. I will go back into Zaharak and secure them. The Amalja will still be in disarray after the thrashing the warriors of darkness gave them. They are not like to notice a lone bard skulking about. But Thancred, you don't have to do this, I know, but I want to. I will see you at the Rising Stones. I should go and find Ida and Papa Emo. They must have finished searching the Mask's camp by now. Not that it matters anymore. You must be tired, Anne. I know I am. If thou wilt permit me, my lady, I would ask a question. When didst thou become aware of mine independent pursuits? When I saw you meeting with that warrior of darkness and the Ascian in white at the great library. I tried not to think the worst. You've never been one to confide in others, so I knew that even were your intentions pure, you would not share your plans with us until you felt the time was right. But I cannot deny that a part of me feared you had simply betrayed us. Would that there had been another way. Know that I took no pleasure in deceiving thee, and that these sins will forever weigh heavy on my heart. I understand why you did what you did, that you but sought to achieve the greatest good while inflicting the least harm. Not many would have the courage to make that choice. But even knowing what came of your actions, I find that I cannot condone them. I'm sorry. And forgive me, but I believe the events of the day have taken their toll on me. I should like to rest for a while. If thou wilt grant me leave, I would gladly escort thee unto a refuge of thine own choosing. Once my lady hath regained her strength, we shall join thee at the Rising Stones. Until then, warrior of light. All right, Papa Emo. Well met, Anne. Alphino said you would be joining us. 'Twould seem the Griffin's double was telling the truth insofar as we found nothing resembling a sizable cache of crystals in the Mask's camp. Did you perchance find one in Zaharak? Actually, here's what happened. I don't believe it. The crystals, Minfilia, all of it. It's just, I don't know what it is. I sympathize, Ida. Even now I struggle to comprehend that which I saw. The only thing I can say with any certainty is that I feel blessed to have been granted a final chance to speak with her. 'Twas bittersweet, aye, but also affirming. Alphino, I believe it is past time Ida and I rejoined the Scions. We have been away for far too long. Though I am loath to leave the Griffin to his own devices, I feel our investigation would benefit from your more dispassionate perspectives, and I hope that we might in turn offer our own opinions on the many challenges that you have faced in our absence. Gods, it's been absolutely ages, hasn't it? I can't wait to hear about everyone's adventures. We should be glad to recount them, and Tataru's tales may well surprise you. Ida? Ida, Ralgr be praised, it is you! Ida, alive and standing here before me in the flesh. I can hardly believe my eyes. Oh, come now. Has it really been so long you don't remember me? It's Gundabald. I fought beside your father in the Revolution. Do not think less of her, friends. It's been 20 years since the occupation sent us our separate ways, but the Resistance were always welcome in Little Alamigo. They gave us hope, and young Ida most of all. Aye, Ida here was always full of fire, ever the first to volunteer for a mission. Until the day she up and vanished, that is. There were rumors, and we feared the worst, but here you are, alive and well, looking nary a day older. Well, what can I say? I'm sorry for running off like that and making you all worry. It's a long story, but you see, I got involved with my friends here, the Scions. Oh, sorry, we were still the Circle of Knowing back then, right. Anyway, I wanted to come back and tell you, but it was all very secretive stuff at the time, and as you can see, I'm completely fine. I know we've got a lot to talk about, and we will, but right now I've got to hurry back to our headquarters. My friends are expecting me. Pray forgive her. It has been a very long day for us all. I promise we will visit again at the first opportunity. Let us return to the Rising Stones. Hells take me for giving you that mask. All right, yay, back to the Rising Stones. Welcome home, Anne. I trust your journey was uneventful. You will be pleased to hear that Thancred has secured the crystals. He sent word a short while ago. Once he has delivered them safely into the Temple Knight's care, he will rejoin us here and we can declare this matter officially resolved. While awaiting your arrival, I took the opportunity to contact Ishtola and Kryle and briefed them on all that has occurred. I also requested that they return to the Rising Stones at their earliest convenience. Now that our lost friends have been found, it would seem meet to discuss the future.
Back in the Solar. It's been too long since we were all together like this. Not since after Moonbraider.
Much has changed since then. We ourselves, most of all.
And all our voices, too.
Though not all who were lost could be gathered here today, we may take comfort in the knowledge that those who are not are carrying on the fight.
While I am grateful to our friends in the north for their hospitality, it isn't half good to be back.
But, as Papalima rightly said, much has changed since we last stood here. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are not as they once were, nor should we be. Our travels in the north brought us into contact with a host of fine and generous people, and their selfless deeds serve to show me that it is not lofty causes that should inform our actions, but our hearts. And I hope that the Scions might continue in this manner, as individuals driven by individual principles. Provided we all sincerely desire to work towards Eorzea's salvation, I believe the paths we follow to achieve it need not, and should not, be dictated by any single ideal.
Companions bound by a common purpose, free to go whither they will. The idea is not without merit. Very well. I shall resume my research of the primals and the elder gods of Eorzea. Should anyone have need of my findings, you need only ask. I should be glad of your continued assistance.
Well, my main purpose in coming here was to see the signs of the Seventh Dawn restored and my dear friend found. Nevertheless, having involved myself in your struggles, I feel compelled to see them through to the bitter end. For Minfilia's sake. That is, if there are no objections.
You will always be welcome here, Kryl.
Tataru, yay, another lava.
Leonger, can we trust you to carry on your investigation of the Ascians as before?
Regardless of mine own desires, I am undeserving of your trust, having so villainously deceived you all.
Now, I'll hear no more of that. 'Twould be disrespectful of Minfilia's wishes. She entrusted matters here to us, that we might protect this star and understand the truth which hides at her heart. Mayhap I can handle the former, but I think you far better suited to the latter. No?
Very well. Then out of love for my Lady Minfilia and Moonbreeder both, this shall be my solemn charge.
Papalimo and I should probably return to Thanalan to keep an eye on the Resistance. There's still the matter of the Griffin and the Amalja, not to mention the new Imperial Viceroy. That little lot must be worthy of our attention, right?
And what will you do, Alize?
You know I have no great love for organizations and formalities. That being said, this new approach you propose is not wholly objectionable, and we've always got her to keep us from bickering. But I will suffer no titles. I am not here for House Leveilleur, nor to walk in Grandfather's shadow.
Upon that point, we see eye to eye. If it please you, you may think of me as but another comrade in arms.
Well then, Alfie, I for my part shall see to the paperwork and the finances with my characteristic aplomb.
I would not have it any other way, Tataru. And we mustn't forget you. What now for the Warrior of Light?
To strive for those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Indeed.
The path behind us was fraught with hardship, and the path before us will be no less unforgiving. But a new dawn shall break over the realm, and I see before me the faces of those who will deliver it.
If you recently joined the stream, welcome. We're happy to have you here. We're approaching the end of the Heavensward expansions here. Hope you're doing okay this morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you happen to be in the world today. We're here to chat with you and just play the story and play the game and enjoy the story and the atmosphere here. If you got anything you want to say, by all means, drop them down in the comments there. We'll be happy to chat with you while we're going through this. Of course, if you prefer to lurk, that's quite all right too. We're happy to have you here enjoying things with us. Look at them, Anne, the scions of the seventh dawn. Look how far we've come. The people we've met, the moments we've shared, the losses we've suffered, the tragedies we've overcome, and all of it has made us who we are today. Where we go from here and what the future holds, only the 12 know. But I know that we will find out together.
One world's heroes are another world's villains. One world's loss, another world's gain. Where men go as one, there is life. And where there is life, my friends, if I may, I would ask that you entrust Tupsimati to me. Clouds gather upon the horizon, and as Master Louisoix's disciple, I would keep it close at hand.
Makes sense. You're the mage.
Thank you. I shall guard it well. There is cause to hope. For every ending, every parting, marks a new beginning.
Well done, brother. You may resume your normal duties and rejoin the others. The coming battle shall be our greatest yet, and I intend to stand with you all on that glorious day. True believers are so readily led. I have given them everything they desired, all for which they have prayed. I doubt you can say the same for your pawns. Yet what you wanted then? Was it all worth it in the end? There were some unexpected developments, but they were ultimately to our advantage. Be it host to a surfeit of light or dark, a world bereft of equilibrium is but a void in waiting. And a void is of no use to my master. I shall follow her emissary with great interest. As for the pawns whom you so pity, they have delivered unto me a gift, which I do now present to you. Oh boy. The Eyes of Nidhogg. Many were the candidates considered, but by your deeds you have proven yourself the most deserving. A man of boundless rage and bottomless despair, in whose breast beats a heart which thirsts for vengeance. Only you are fit to wield these eyes, for weal or for woe. Huh. So it was here all along. Haha, Nero. Oh, just you wait, my pretty. You and I are going to have so much fun. Ah, Anne, just the hero I wanted to see. Would you mind doing me a small favor? I need you to meet me at the Diamond Forge. This won't take long, I promise. Okay, Tataru. Let's go see what you have up your sleeve. Waiting, 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 and more waiting. I'm sorry to drag you away from your duties, but as I said, this won't take long. I just need you to stand perfectly still for a few moments. Right, everyone, ready to go to work? No squirming now. Oh, and you might want to close your eyes. That evil look. There, all finished. The Warrior of Light's every measurement from heroic head to intrepid toe. Well, wouldn't you like to know? All in good time, Anne. All in good time. Aha! Found you! Alphino wants everyone in the Solar for a meeting. I don't know what it's about, but he seemed to think it was very important. Go on, we have everything we need. No sense in keeping everyone waiting.
Did we miss anything?
We would not presume to begin without you, Ida. Urianger has returned to the Waking Sands, but everyone else is now present.
Yes, but for what exactly? We all have duties to attend to, Alphino, so you may dispense with the preamble.
Thank you, Elise. It is the very subject of those duties which compelled me to call this gathering. Though the Warriors of Darkness no longer pose a threat, Eorzea's many troubles demand no less of our attention. And while I stand by the decision to approach each task as we see fit, I fear our effectiveness will ultimately be diminished should we continue to act in ignorance of each other's efforts. Thus, I propose we elect a successor to Minfilia. Not to serve as a fully fledged antecedent, perhaps, but as a coordinator of operations.
Is that all? Oh, then the decision seems clear. No one else has shown any enthusiasm for the role, and judging by your performance at our previous meeting, you would seem the perfect candidate. You always did have a flair for politics.
I did not mean to... That was not my intention. As my tenure as commander of the Crystal Braves comprehensively demonstrated, I lack the qualities required for such an office. I would much prefer to remain as I am now, a soldier in the field, so to speak.
Should none of our number step forward, must we then constrain some unwilling candidate to take up the position?
Well, based on merit alone, a certain adventurer would be my choice. Though I concede she might struggle to balance her new responsibilities with, let me see, slaying primals, thwarting legatuses, and feeding the orphan poor.
Thancred makes a good point. Any who would wear such a mantle would be bound by its obligations. Have we not become sufficiently familiar with each other's methods to act without an overseer? At present, I see no cause to so willingly limit one of our number.
Oh my goodness! Help! I need some help here!
Tataru, are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. It's this poor girl who just staggered in and collapsed on the floor that I'm worried about.
Narco! God, how did... Y'shtola! Please, you have to help her!
Kral, a hand if you would. Let us see about closing these wounds.
Now, we've staunched the bleeding, but it may be a while before you can move about again. Though having seen your wounds, I'm surprised you are still moving at all.
Thank you. My message. It was too important to delay. I took the shortest route I could, though I knew it was more heavily patrolled. As you can see, my efforts at evasion were not entirely successful.
Honestly, you're too brave for your own good. What was so urgent that you needed to fight half the Empire to get here? You could have been killed.
I'm sorry, Ida. I had good reason. But I imagine your friends are wondering who this bloody mess of a Mikote is. My name is Minago, and I belong to the Alamegan Resistance. I came to warn Ida and Papalimo about one of our leaders. A man who calls himself the Griffin. He's always been dangerous, but he's planning something new. Something reckless.
The Griffin, you say? I've heard the name. Rumor has it your man is eager to test his claws.
Aye, and on no easy target. He means to assault Belsar's wall from the Alamegan side.
But what does the Griffin possibly hope to gain from such an attack?
From what I understand, he wants the fires of war to spread to Eorzea. And for that, he needs to control the border with Gridania.
So, he means to spark a conflict between the Alliance and the Imperial forces stationed in Alamigo, to have Eorzea's armies aid in the liberation effort, whether they will it or no.
Oh boy.
His plan is flawed. Even should the Resistance succeed in occupying the wall, they would not be able to hold it. Imperial reinforcements would drive them out within a week.
Be that as it may, if there is even a chance that this scheme could bring about an escalation in hostilities between Eorzea and the Empire, the Alliance must be informed.
Agreed. I should depart for Lim-Sulaminsa forthwith and seek an audience with the Admiral. Thancred, Uldar is yours. Alphino and Alize, make haste to the Twelveswood and notify the Elder Seedseer of the danger to Gridania. She will duly call a council of the Alliance leaders, whom you must be ready to receive. You will be our voice in Ishgard. Explain the situation to Sir Emeric, and encourage him to send an envoy. To Taru, Kryl, I leave the care of our injured messenger to you. See that she remains quiescent and her wounds closed. I believe that covers everything. Let us be about our tasks.
I suspect the ill tidings from Girabania will be held as a turning point. The beginning to a bloody end. The business of war was ever conducted with the coin of self-sacrifice. 'Twas Master Louis Soir himself who taught us that such costs are not to be ignored or denied. And so, I shall embrace them. When the time comes, I will make my choice, as you will yours.
Alright, so back to Ishgard, it looks like. Greetings, Warrior of Light. What business brings you to Ishgard? Well, you see, something's going on here. I see. Wait here. I will summon Sir Emeric. It is good to see you, my friend. 'Tis but a pity it must be under such circumstances. Had Lucia not informed me of the urgency of your suit, I would certainly have sent for some wine. But to business. I thank you for bringing these developments in Alamigo to our attention. Ishgard will of course send an envoy to attend the council in Gridania. I cannot say who will represent us, however, as the choice is not mine to make. Not mine alone, at any rate. Given the imminence of the threat, we may forego the formalities of a full assembly, but I will still need to consult my counterpart in the House of Commons prior to proceeding. Will you permit me some time to make the necessary arrangements? I thank you. Our representative, whomever we select, will require a suitable escort. Make your preparations and inform Sir Handaloop that he is to lead in your absence. Yes, Lord Commander. And pray accompany Lucia to the gates of judgment and make ready to depart for Gridania. I will have our envoy join you as soon as I can. Yuri, speed you on your way. If you have no other business in the city, join me at the gates of judgment. We must be ready to depart the instant the envoy arrives. We meet again. As it happens, my counterpart in the House of Commons agreed that I should act as Ishgard's envoy. Not, I concede, that there was ever any real doubt. As Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, it is my duty to sanction any military cooperation. Be that as it may, I could not in good conscience make the decision alone, not with the ink scarce dry in the Republic's Book of Statutes. I trust you understand, my friend. Alas, I must test your patience still further by making a brief stop at Camp Dragonhead. Given the trouble brewing in the Black Shroud, I would see that the garrison is ready to defend the border. All right, so let's get Camp Dragonhead situated then. The garrison commander waits within. Why not accompany me, Anne? You may see a familiar face. Aha! Anne, old girl, how wonderful to see you, and Sir Emmerich, too. To what do I owe these unexpected pleasures? I will have some mulled wine brought up from the kitchens at once, if you will excuse... Nay, do not trouble yourself, Honorwa. We shall soon be on our way. Lucia, a brief summary, if you will. Yes, Lord Commander. Huh. Those villains hardly need an excuse to wage war. Bloodletting comes as naturally as breathing to a Garl. I mean, to an Imperial. And thus we shall strengthen our patrols as you suggest. We shall also be sure to communicate these developments to Lord Frankel and the Observatorium. I see you have everything in hand. Carry on, Commander. Surprised to see yours truly at the helm? You and me both, old girl. I doubt I'll ever feel worthy to sit where he sat. Yet we can but play the hand we're dealt, and with a little help from the veterans and Honorwar's ceaseless chiding, I'm sure I'll muddle through. So worry not, old girl. Off to Gridania with you. And here we go to Gridania. Oh, I've got that wind-up Moonbreed I have to unpack, looks like. Forgot about that. When they go into those long cutscenes after the completion of a quest, I forget about the things I received. There we go. Oh, and I can desynth some of these things. Might as well. What we got here? Keep the corals, toss the smelts. Yeah, those aren't getting me any skill. Ice Fairy, though, what about those? Yeah, I can get some desynth skill from the Ice Fairies. There we go. Talk to Sir Emmerich here. Okey-doke. Diplomatic duties have brought me here on several occasions, but I find that I am as enraptured by the Black Shroud's beauty now as when first I laid eyes upon it. I fear that this time, however, events shall not afford us the luxury of enjoying the splendor of the forest. It seems we are to have an escort to the Lotus Stand, a pleasant place to discuss unpleasant matters, is it not? Yes, of course. 'Tis like that we are the last to arrive. Let us announce ourselves, shall we? The envoy from Ishgard has arrived. Very good. This way, if you please. Ah, and the Lominson party as well. I had hoped to slip in unnoticed, but I see I was not the only one delayed in my arrival. Greetings, Sir Emmerich. Admiral, always a pleasure. And Anne, I trust you are well? 'Tis a day for reunions, it seems. I believe you are well acquainted with my escort? Lady Anne, I was glad to hear from Riol that the missing scions have now been found. There is much and more I would discuss with you, but let us first attend to the issue at hand, shall we?
I bid you welcome, my friends. As you will by now be aware, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of Gyr Abania. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphino?
Indeed, Elder Seedseer. Our information comes directly from a member of the Resistance's inner circle, and we have no cause to doubt its veracity.
This griffin of theirs is a fool if he thinks he can hold Belsar's wall against the Empire. When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force. And the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
At the Battle of Cartano, the combined might of 3 grand companies labored to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion. Alone, Gridania would be hard-pressed indeed to hold back the tide, should the Garleans turn their minds from reclamation to invasion.
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity. 'Tis a stain upon our ledger that I would fain remove. Elder Seedseer, I do hereby request leave to deploy a defensive force within the borders of Gridania. Ishgard's return to the Alliance shall be honored by more than mere ink upon parchment.
The Doman people too would join any effort that weakens our common foe. We are few, but our most seasoned shinobi are at your disposal.
On behalf of my people, I offer you my humble thanks. Gridania welcomes your assistance.
It is time we set our contingency plans in motion. Is the Alliance agreed? Then let us make ready for war. Victory favors the swift, and there is much to be done.
The Council knows that Alamigo will not soon be wrested from the Empire, and its decision to bolster the border's defenses seems eminently practical. Why then, brother, do you scowl so?
I agree that they have chosen the wisest course available. Indeed, the only reasonable one. Yet something feels awry. In making ready for war, is the Alliance not granting the Griffin the very thing he desired? Any attempt to hold the wall is doomed to failure, aye. But I wonder if we have misjudged the prize for which he plays.
That the Council was able to reach an accord so swiftly is a heartening development in itself. I only hope my misgivings prove unfounded. Ah, good. You have yet to depart. I feared I had missed you. Sir Emmerich. Master Alphino, a pleasure as always. And Mistress Alice, how wonderful to see you thus recovered. Pardon the interruption. I had hoped to thank Anne for serving as our escort before other duties called her away. I also wish to thank our Doman ally. Forgive me, my lord. I was but awaiting an opportune moment to join the conversation, and force of habit made me keep to the shadows. No apologies are necessary, Mistress Yugiri. I was most grateful for your interjection when I offered Ishgard's support. My nation's historic failure to heed the Alliance's pleas for aid is a matter of record. Oh, thank you, Death Rider. Good to see you. It was good watching you last night. Hope you're doing okay this morning. Thanks for the follow there. I appreciate it. See if I can get my act together here. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if this works here. Well, where's my bot? My bot's not picking up on the shout outs there, but you know, anybody else listening, I hope you'll go check out Death Rider. Watched him playing some Final Fantasy XII last night. Very fun. Still getting things working here. Looks like I'll have to work on that bot. It's not putting out the messages after I give the commands there. My nation's historic failure to heed the Alliance's pleas for aid is a matter of record. Even so, the Alliance leaders were plainly unprepared for my impromptu apology. The resulting air of awkwardness might have lingered longer were it not for your timely offer of cooperation, which allowed the Elder Seedseer to accept us both. I very much appreciated the gesture. I only did my duty, Sir Emmerich. The Empire is an enemy to us all, and we are grateful for the opportunity to fight at your side. And full glad are we to have you. Pray, convey my regards to the Scions, my friends. We must return to Ishgard. Whatever is wrong with a simple sorry or thank you? Must these politicians always make a speech out of everything? That is how we adults speak, dear sister. Huh. Mayhap the ones who like the sound of their own voice. In any case, our business here is concluded. We should be on our way as well. Will you accompany us to Revenant's Toll, Yugiri? Actually, I think I shall first pay a brief visit to the East Shroud. I am curious to know how Papaimo and Ida fared in their talks with the Sylphs, not to mention what has been going on at Baelsar's Wall. I will join you at the Rising Stones anon. Alright, so back to Revenant's Toll anyways. Welcome back, Anne. I don't know about you, but I am heartily glad that all of the talking is over. I understand that these council meetings are important, but do you not find it tiresome to have to weigh every word before you speak it? I doubt I will ever feel at home in the realm of politics. Oh, yeah, okay, so you haven't played 14 yet, then I take it. Well, you know, if you enjoy Final Fantasy as a whole, you might enjoy it. I know I do anyways. I've played a bunch of the Final Fantasy games myself, Death Rider. That said, people have been known to change, and if my brother is willing to run his own errands, anything is possible. And we're going to get another orchestration roll from this one, it looks like. Well, as much as I enjoy the bustle of the toll, I think it's time we headed inside. My brother and the others will not be long. Ah, you are returned from the council. But what of Alphino? Did some other matter require his attention? Mine apologies, friends. I trust we have not kept you waiting over long. Greetings, everyone. Oh, Kryl. How's Nago doing? She will be all right, won't she? I don't see why not. She's sleeping at the moment. Kitaru is keeping an eye on her, so we'll know soon enough if there's any change in her condition. Her wounds are healing well. With sufficient rest, I am certain she will make a full recovery. Thank goodness for that. Now, mayhap you would share with us the Council's decision? Each of the nations, Ishgard included, has committed to providing military support to Gridania. The Eorzean Alliance will soon have a significant force in the Black Shroud, ready to respond to any Imperial act of aggression. You know, I almost wish the Council would stop messing around and give the Griffin what he wants. I wouldn't like to be the Imperial caught between the Resistance and the Alliance. Ida, you cannot seriously... One does not lightly go to war with the Garlean Empire. Quite. To open hostilities without due consideration would be to invite disaster. If only there were some way to reach the Griffin. Some means to convince him to abandon this reckless course. It may not be entirely unfeasible. There is a network of tunnels beneath Baelsar's wall, secret passages dug by the Resistance to provide a way out of Alamigo, which may equally serve as a way in? Precisely. If all are in agreement, I would be the one to undertake the necessary negotiations. I am familiar with the route, and the Resistance is familiar with me. About as familiar as they are with me, you mean? Say what you want, I'm coming too. I have some experience in the practice of infiltration. If you would have me, my services are at your disposal. As are mine. It has been far too long since I shared a shadow with a shinobi, and I do not intend to waste the opportunity. 4 is quite sufficient for an infiltration mission. Greater numbers will only serve to increase the risk of detection. Kral and I will direct our energies elsewhere. What of you level yours? I will return to the East Shroud and stand watch over the border. Should matters take a turn for the worst, would seem wise to be on hand. Might I prevail upon you to accompany me, Anne? Gridania will be safer for your presence, and, while it may not seem the most thrilling duty, dear sister, might I ask that you remain at the Rising Stones to pass on messages and so on? To hold the fort, you mean? Very well. I suppose the task must fall to someone. Safe travels, all of you. If you have any unfinished business in the toll, pray attend to it now. I would depart for the Hawthorn hut without delay. The nearby watchtower offers an unobstructed view of Baelsar's wall, and I should be interested to speak to the Alliance commanders who have installed themselves at its top. Off to the Hawthorn hut then, see what's going on over there. Ah, Anne, there you are. Come. Amarissa's spire awaits. The Alliance officers on the platform should be able to apprise us of any developments at the wall. Fancy meeting the two of you here. We were about to set forth. Indeed. I was about to say 12 watch over you, but I doubt you have need of divine protection, even if you are venturing into enemy territory. Don't worry, Alphino. We have the Griffin by the scruff of the neck before you know it. Do make up your mind, Ida. Nary a moment ago you seemed ready to shake the Griffin by the hand rather than the neck. So, which is it to be? It would be best to decide before we enter into negotiations. Trust me, Papa Emo. I shall shake whatever needs shaking. The talking part I leave to you. I think I feel a headache coming on. Let's be on our way, shall we? Ah, some things never change. Well then, shall we make for the spire? Our Alliance friends will doubtless have news for us. Welcome, Warrior of Light. I assume you are here to speak with our commanding officers? You will find them on the observation platform. Pray proceed. Greetings, my friend. 'Tis good to see you both well. I was hoping you might turn up. I've dragged half the watch here, see, and the sight of you might help remind 'em why we bothered. If memory serves, I have not seen many of you since the day of the grand melee. Having borne the brunt of your blows, may I say what an honor it is to stand at your side. 'Tis heartening indeed to see the realm's most stalwart defenders thus gathered in common cause. Speaking of which, what news from the wall? All has been quiet. Until now, perhaps. Report. What? Seven hells, fighting has broken out on top of the wall. A full-scale assault. So, the Griffin has made his move. Someone has. And what's that supposed to mean? The attackers, they're wearing Grand Company colors. Impossible. We gave no such order. Of course, the wall was never the Griffin's target. It was bait. We have been goaded into deploying our armies nearby, thus lending weight to this deception. If those uniforms were convincing enough to deceive my scouts, the Empire will surely think we've launched an offensive. This could mean war. Even so, this may yet be no more than a diversion. With the armies of the Alliance occupying the Empire's attention, it would be comparatively easy for the Griffin's supporters to slip into Alamigo. He could then incite a rebellion amongst the populace, which the Imperial reserves would be hard-pressed to contain. Eorzea, meanwhile, would be plunged into chaos. And we must make for the wall at once. What? Just the two of you? Our companions embarked on a mission to sway the Griffin from his course, and are likely halfway to his command post by now. They will emerge in the midst of a raging battle, and I do not mean to abandon them to their fate. It will be dangerous, aye, but the confusion may work to our advantage. If we are careful to avoid the skirmishing, it may yet be possible to reach the Griffin, and if we can do that... Lady Hilda, might I ask that you have an airship ready to bear the Scions to safety? Ha! I don't know who this Lady Hilda is, Marshal, but you can count on me. We must prepare for Imperial reprisals. May the Navigator guide us through the storm. Forward, comrades. The time has come to drive the Empire from Alamigo and force action upon those who have turned their backs to our suffering for so long. Let this victory be the first step in the liberation of our homeland. Alamigo will be free, no matter the cost. From what Papaimo told me, the trail ahead should lead us into the shadow of the wall. As we have two objectives, I suggest we divide our forces. I shall make straight ways for the tunnels and attempt to intercept our comrades ere they stumble into a bloodbath. While I do so, I must ask that you scale the wall. Know that I would not propose such a course if there were any other way, but the time for subtlety is past. Take a band of your most trusted companions and cut a path through to the Griffin. Make him see reason, by any means necessary. Once we are free of the tunnels, we will make for your position with all due haste, and if everything proceeds according to plan, Hilda will then swoop in and spirit us all away to safety. I only pray that we have enough time. Oh, that one's a duty support dungeon also. But it's time to wind up this particular stream, so we'll leave that dungeon for our next stream on Tuesday morning. We'll be here at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time for 3 hours on Tuesday as well. We're off tomorrow. Nothing going on, but thank you for hanging out with us today, and please check back with us on Tuesday if you're interested. We'd love to have you here. And let's see, I think I will look on Twitch here to see if there is a raid I can do. If you're willing to hang out, we'll share the love with another channel here as well. Oh yeah, there we go. See if this shout out works from here. No, it doesn't work from there either. Well, anyways, I appreciate you being here with us today, Death Rider. Thank you so much for stopping in and the follow there. We're gonna start a raid over to past the Plunger. They're playing Legend of Zelda today, it looks like. I can spell right. There we go. And again, thank you all so much. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you happen to be in the world today. And we hope to see you Tuesday or at least another time. Take care.
Statue back unless you give the order for this. Thanks for the Wolves Gaming.
Yeah, thanks so much for the raid, man. So if you've got any mods to shout out, if not, I can do a quick shout out. Do you want to take off a second? Or quick do a quick shout out?
That statue sounds like key to getting Elia's memory back. Let's get it back. On it, bitch. Southern Gate, basically, at the gate of... Anyway.
What are you playing today? Final Fantasy 10, 11... But, moment, no. I'll get the numbers all mixed up. The new Final Fantasy Online. Is that brand new 14? I should about to say that. Is it, are you enjoying it?
Another post-soul.
Hey, well done. I think we're quite hard to collect those two, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we got outside the south gate.
Are you playing it on your own? You've got like people you're playing it with and stuff, or? Ah. Oh, we can collect money now. Go with the whoopies. Nice, we can actually not turn them down now.